Hi, YouTube. I hope you're doing well. I thought I'd talk to you about surviving betrayal, whether it's within a marriage or a friendship or whatever, moving on from that type of feeling. Um, I'll quote William Blake for you. He said, "It is easier to forgive an enemy than it is to forgive a friend." Um, I believe that's when you find out that your friend was actually an enemy. So I don't entirely agree with that quote right there. But yeah, I had a rather um long-term marriage with the father of my sons, well over a decade, and they were betrayed in the worst ways. Um, Not just cheating. I mean, this was beyond betrayal, um, downright evil. So, I mean, that type of betrayal, that took some getting over. And sometimes there's things that, like injuries that we go through from people that we trusted. See, every betrayal begins with a trust. So you have to actually put your trust, and that to me is the satanic force trying to take your trust away from human beings in general, everybody, not just um like a friend or um marriages, co-workers, churches. I mean, there's so many places in society that you can be betrayed. And it seems like if that satanic force, I guess what I'm trying to say, and it wouldn't even be the satanic force, the way people are nowadays, in my view, my perspective, is they don't have the integrity not to betray somebody. It's not in them. They will cave. It's hard to find good friends. That's basically the bottom line, you know. Um, and how do you know if they're not going to do something to you? Well, you really don't. You that's that's why my advice is to never give up trying to find good friends. It's going to be hard to do in this world. If you're looking for honesty, virtues, morality, all the things that make a healthy relationship of any kind, you might have to settle for less than what you actually want in your life. Not just waiting for the next better thing to come along or whatever, but trying to build what you do have. Now, I spent decades trying to build what I have. Um, I'm still in the process. It's a never-ending thing, you know. So, like I say, like in most my videos um are really just me chatting about what's going on in the day. Now, it could go into psychology or um theology, history, it could be science, it could be uh, social economics or um, civics in general, what's going on in our society, you know. Excuse me. Yep, time to light another cigarette, right? Well, my last video was made for kids. I'm hoping that some teenagers and adolescents I know will take a look at that, because I think just being able to evaluate a friendship or a relationship in a healthy manner, and not just, I mean, yes, go out and try and make friends with the whole world, but there's certain areas that you might want to restrict yourself, you know? Excuse me. You know, and those restrictions would be entirely up to you, of course, you know, but unless you're a kid, then it's probably up to one or more of your parents, you know. I do have allergies too, and that's what's going on today with me. I'm just all congested. But anyway, I'll work through this. I did have kind of a tickle in my throat. It seems to be going away somewhat. Maybe not. Excuse me. Yeah. Just cheers, everybody. I do have plastic in my throat too, um, on my tonsils. It bothers me some days. Smoke usually soothes it, does make it feel better. It used to hurt a lot. I could feel like the ridge of that plastic in my throat. Ugh. Now I don't feel it so much. Sometimes when I'm eating, when I go to swallow or I'm drinking, it'll bother me. So, yeah. Anyway, life goes on. Even through betrayal, yeah, it does. If you find something happy in your life once a day, that's my recommendation for anybody. Just try and find one joyful thing within your day, and it does help pull you through. I noticed that when my kids were little too, and their dad went missing in action for about 5 years. Um, just to find one thing in their lives through the day that could cheer them up or pick them up, or some kind of activity, or, to make it like a family type deal, a structure of one happy thing per day. If you can just find that one thing, maybe it's a bubble bath or a walk or reading a book or making a video log, or, you know, I have a granddaughter. She doesn't even know what to talk about some days. She'll post a video of her dog with a snippet of music and a few words. Well, hey, there you go. She just communicated she expressed a part of herself that day. That was a project she did for herself. That's good therapy. It really is. No matter if you're maybe baking or making a meal, or if you're a kid, if you're helping your mom, or maybe you're an adult helping your mom, never know. So, so anyway, I was thinking about the total pain of betrayal that I almost laugh about now, the many times it's happened to me. Um, in all reality, it would seem like, well, gee, maybe I'm not like all those other people. Maybe it's me. Well, in some respects, facing facts, yeah, it is. There's something about me that somebody else could do something I mean, if you're a sensitive person and your feelings get hurt easy, um, I think most people are sensitive, even if they built up a wall, even if it's cold or bitter or what it is, whether it's from a parent or that type of betrayal, like with a narcissist mother, they'll be what they call, Professor Bogdan calls dead mothers. Um, you expect some kind of answer, like, from them when you say if you bring home a achievement that you did, or maybe even if you did something that you could have done better on. You kinda expect some kinda nurturing from a parent that you don't get. That's a betrayal. You know, um, getting beyond that and still keeping strong for me is keeping my faith in God, and nothing is gonna make that waver. That keeps me strong, and the reason my faith is so strong is because anytime I have been hurt, physically or emotionally, God comes through for me regardless, you know, um, through friends or the very few family that I have. Um, so, I mean, in one way or another, he always comes through, is what I'm saying. So, even within your day, even if you've had friends that betray you, and I know when, especially for younger people, it's really hard though. It's harder to make friends when you're older, when you're past 35 years old. Making friends is more difficult than it is in your teen years, or because most people are set in their ways. It's really easier to go out and socialize with a younger group of people being a younger person than it is when you get older, because we do get set in our ways. And not that I'd like to take my set ways and put them in a younger group of people, because the maturity level that I had even as a younger person was like an older person set in a younger group of people. So that kind of left me at a standstill as far as the amount of friends that I ever really would have. So I guess that's what, to me, going beyond the betrayal feels like, even through a marriage and going through watching my children be hurt. And see, I was dealing with the hurt that was happening to me. I was used to that from being adopted. So that cold feeling from most of the people that weren't my blood relatives, that was like, it could have been anybody on the planet, anybody. Absolutely. This wasn't like a cousin. I wasn't like a cousin to my cousins, based on that fact and that barrier. I don't believe in adoption. I believe in orphanages, because children that are in the same predicament appreciate each other more as family than they could anybody that doesn't have that understanding of not actually having that blood connection. So adopted kids, or I mean children that were orphans, understand each other more on that level. So I mean, even with the betrayal of, I did not have that when I was a kid. So I had that level of betrayal from strangers, um getting close to people and being betrayed. That is a whole nother level. And if it is family and blood, like maybe even if you're old enough to have children that act out of sorts, or adult children that you can't conform to their way of thinking because their way of thinking is younger on a younger level than yours, or if it were like a self-serving type of nature that that is so different from you, then that could seem like a form of betrayal. Like if I have virtues that my sons don't carry, I'm betraying them because I'm not in that mindset. Say, like, I don't want my house to look like a crack house, or like some drunk lives there, or whatever, that type of thing. Then these people that are in that frame of mind, they don't care. I betrayed them. So, I mean, betrayal in friendships and stuff, it's a two-sided thing, you know. One thing I know for certain, I'm pretty certain that Judas didn't feel betrayed by Jesus. I'm pretty sure that Jesus was fully aware that he was the one being betrayed. You know, that's just one instance of that feeling of betrayal. So, yeah, God knows on a daily basis what it feels like to be betrayed because he gave us everything in existence, and people still want to call themselves that creator, you know. So, and I've met a lot of people. Do you know how many people out here are think they're God? It's unreal. Still, they can't make a raindrop, I keep saying. Just show me you can make a raindrop and how that was done. Hey, I'll learn the science behind that. It's material, it's particle physics, the deepest explanation. And I was thinking of like gravity and magnets. Well, magnets sort of stand still. That might not be a totally good thing to be if you considered yourself a magnet, you know. I it's just it take if you have two magnets, they'll repel each other, you know, but then neither one of them would be standing still. I guess in physics that would be a reality. Spiritually, probably not a good thing, but, just thinking out loud. Well, I'm gonna get this uploaded. I just wanted to touch on the fact that, yes, it is easy or not easy. It is, possible to overcome betrayal. Not easy, no. Um, but if you love yourself, and my faith in God, just knowing the times he's helped me, and if you've had physical near death things, or worse, if you've had some really bad things happen to you, and that you weren't supposed to recover from, but you did, and God helped you, you could feel him healing you from the inside out. By the way, I had a friend, she's about 50, had her second stroke within about just a few months here. Just a few months ago, she was in the hospital, and she's back in there today. My thoughts are with her, kind of in, well, not kind of. I was going to say kind of in a big way. Um, yeah, they have been. I've had her on my mind a lot lately. Um, just I had a stroke, just trying to feel like a beautiful woman after your stroke is really hard to keep your confidence. It's like, if you can't talk, if you can't walk, if you have to rebuild all those things, you really know who helped you. You will find out who your friends are too, if they care about your struggles, So, anyway, everybody, I'm going to get this uploaded. I appreciate you joining me. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.